Hello everyone, Skilled at Luck here with another Pokemon video. So we're diving back into the expanded format once again, and we are going to play what I consider to be my favorite deck in the format. I just absolutely love to Mad Party. So this deck is all about going through your entire deck and hitting for massive damage with this little guy. So we're trying to hit the Mad Party attack for 20 times the number of Mad Party attack Pokemon in your discard pile. So what we're going to be doing is going through our deck very quickly and putting as many of them as possible. There's a total of 16. We normally need to have a couple of them to sit back and be able to attack, of course. So if you don't have Benelby, but you hit everyone else, that's 240 damage off of your Benelby by itself. You throw a Choice Band on there, you're hitting for 270 damage without discarding any of your Benelby into the discard pile. But of course, if we go a little higher, we can discard 3 Benelbys. We're at 300 damage if all 4 of them are there. And we have a Pokemon like Marshadow to copy the attack. We can hit for numbers as great as 350 damage on a GX or EX Pokemon. So we can definitely churn out big numbers without giving up many prizes at all. Nothing's worth more than 2 prizes. The majority of our stuff's 1 prize. So we're going to typically be up on the prize trade in a lot of our matchups. So outside of our 16 Mad Party Pokemon, which include our Dedenne, our Poltegeist, our Mr. Rhymes, and yeah, those we're going to be playing our Oranguru. He is mostly there to churn maybe an extra card or 2 here and there in certain times, but typically when you get end, you're down to 1 or 2 cards, so we want a way to protect ourselves from going too low on cards in that kind of situation. So that's his main purpose. We have our Shamans, which we all know and love, and then we have Marshadow to copy our Mad Party attack and also hit for fighting weakness. There's a lot of Pokemon that don't like to get hit by fighting Pokemon. Then we have our Dedenne GX, again helping us through. And then we have Sinistea. Sinistea is in here. It's back and forth as to whether or not you would want to run the one of Sinistea or the one of Mew. You can copy any attack that's on your bench, so copying a Mad Party Pokemon that you've lined up to be your next attacker and hitting for the Psychic Weakness immediately. Sinistea is similar, takes a little more setup because you do have to play the Sinistea and then evolve it the following turn, but you do get a Poltegeist out of it that lets you discard a Mad Party, draw 2 cards, but you don't have the same issue of having Mew shut off by certain cards that say no abilities. So it's just another attacker in that sense. So back and forth on those, but I'm currently going with Sinistea. Then for our items, we have our Battle Compressor, our most important one because it lets us just send any 3 cards from our deck to the discard. So it helps us get through Pokemon very quickly. Our A-Spec of choice is Dowsing Machine, so we can reuse cards because we're going through our deck so quickly that we should not have much trouble finding our cards at all. We're a teammates deck on top of that, so computer search is not as needed. Just reusing our cards is going to be way more important the majority of the time. Great Catcher, just another way to gust up Pokemon while also being able to save our supporter for something else. Quick Ball, churn through our deck, find our things. Rescue Stretcher, reuse our Pokemon as we need them. I'm going with 3 Scoop Up Nets, primarily because of the fact that it's a busted card. We get to reuse Shaman. We can move our Pokemon out of the active that we need out of the active, other than Dedenne and Marshadow. So it's just a really powerful card in this deck instead of Floatstone because it just helps consistency. Removing some damage counters off of a Shaman can be very relevant as well. Special Charge, just running it to recycle our special energy rather than running a 6th one. We're having the choice to go up to 7 that we can have available to us throughout the game. 3 Trainer's Mail to just, again, find what we need. Our 4 Ultra Ball, just consistency versus Seekers. Great with Battle Compressor in this deck to help churn. Guzma for gusting in for our comeback plays because we can get them down to low cards or get them out of their setup. Pokemon Ranger is here entirely because of ADP and then certain things like item lock or Noivern, who makes it where we won't be able to play special energies. So if we play Pokemon Ranger, we can immediately just knock it out on the following turn. Our 2 Professor Junipers or any discard draw 7. Teammates, great with one prize decks. Our one of choice band might be getting to a point where Muscle Band is going to be the better way because of V Pokemon starting to be in the format more frequently. And then our 4 energy of double colorless, and then our 1 twin energy, so we can attack off of a single energy. So that is the deck, and let's go ahead and jump into a couple games. Make sure that we are on the right deck. We are, and let's go. And looks like we get to call. Tails never fails, except for when it does. We ideally want to go second with this deck. Most decks in Expanded also want to go second, so losing the coin flip means we're probably going first. Yeah, that's where we're at. We do have start with Benelby. It looks like we should be able to churn through our deck quite a bit to make it where if they have any form of thing we don't like, we should be able to protect ourselves. Let's find out what they're playing. Looks like this should be Ultra Necrozma. So another reason for us to try to churn through our deck so we can get all of our Shaman abilities off as soon as possible. We don't want our Dedenne to go and become useless. Looks like we are getting 2 cards. I do not want to put that down. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at some cards. We get an Ultra Ball. We'll take that. I would like to avoid benching the Dedenne, just so we don't have a situation on prizes that they get ahead at all. So I'm going to go ahead and set up one of our attackers. That takes a little bit more setup. I don't mind putting the Shaman down and getting a couple draws off of it, but I think we're just in a position where we should go ahead and use this Dedenne. Not excited about it, but I think it's just the ideal play. They could still be an ADP version of this deck. Yeah. I do want to go ahead and Shaman this turn. Want to find a Battle Compressor. The Teammates was an awesome find, though. We're going to go ahead and throw this over here, kind of see what we got going. Found another Shaman. I'm not excited about putting it down. I think we're going to get knocked out. We do already have enough to do a return knockout. But I'm going to go ahead and throw another Benelby down and send it over to them. Having the 2 prizers is definitely the scary part, but they do have less attackers in their deck as a whole. Interesting. Unfortunate. So they could still be playing ADP in here. I'm more inclined to expect that they do off the Aura Energy in here. Normally I see different energy suite with this deck. Also, having the Crushing Hammer makes me a little curious about what their list is as a whole. Yep. Because if that stadium nav finds them a stadium that shuts off abilities, that's exactly why we played our turn out the way we did. The reason I didn't put down this other shaman is because I do have the ability to scoop up net one of them. I do have 3 scoop up nets, but I don't want to be in a situation where that shaman is on the bench for too long. I don't want them to have the ability to have too many prizes they get from me. And hey, it looks like the Dedenne is going to be weighed a little bit, have a little less weight on it, thanks to them growing to get this Tapu Lele. I'm assuming based off of this that they just have not found a double dragon energy yet. So this should be a Guzma and Hala. Nope, nope. Okay. If I were on that side and were running Guzma and Hala, I would have played it specifically because it would have guaranteed the stadium instead of the stadium nav, which has gotten them 2 stadiums now. Good job. But it would have gotten the stadium, it would have gotten a double dragon, and it would have gotten a lucky egg. So by putting the lucky egg on their attacker, it would force them into a position where they do get to draw 7 cards, just like this professor's research is going to set them up to, but at the same time guarantee the attack. So I do disagree with that, unless they're just not running Guzman Hall, which also disagree with that. So we still have not seen an energy attach, which is exactly what we... Oh, there it is. Just as I'm talking about it. So it does sound like we will have a game then. The main reason I put the Penelope down is just in case I didn't get this as an attacker. We do want to save it for the very last moment, especially since it's not always guaranteed. We do have the teammates, but I don't want to do that, but we might. Versus Seeker is really good. We don't have to go for the Tapu Lele immediately. Looks like Poltergeist is actually not an option right now. How many of them have I discarded? 3, so there's 1 prized, but I do have access to it off of Rescue Stretcher still. I don't want to do that if I don't have to yet. So our main thing is going to be a scoop up net. Don't need the special charge quite yet. Rather get their attackers out of the way. We'll go ahead and get the compressor as well. So compressor, then our deck of these Mr. Rhymes. Go ahead and scoop up at the Shaman because they can knock it out off a Gust Effect anytime. And get this out of the way. Poltergeist. Nope. Pokemon Ranger is not good in this matchup because it doesn't seem that they're running the ADP version. So the first few turns should be mostly back and forth until we get to a point where one of us runs out of resources. What do we have here? Nagandel and Guzzlord. Huh. Was not expecting that. It makes a little bit of sense, but they're not running ADP. Like, ADP is just a much better direction to take than this. Like, it just takes you 2 prizes at the end, where ADP is going to increase your damage output to 200, so you're now knocking out Crobats as well. I don't know. It's interesting for sure. We don't have a tool here yet, so abilities are still online at the moment. But this being there makes my whole thought more interesting. They do run Guzman Hall, so their previous turn was incorrect in my opinion. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're currently hitting for 200. So I probably want to knock out the Tapu Lele next, and then hope to be able to knock out their Nagandel and Guzzlord the following turn. Is the game plan. Doesn't mean the game plan is going to work how we want the game plan to work. Oh, yeah. Well, I can get a great catcher. So, again, yep, there we are. We'll lose our Benelby. I wonder if they're just going to be putting it back in their hand. Typically in this matchup, you'd rather wait and have like 2 or so in the discard. And then just put them all back to maximize your attackers. But I guess because my Dedenne is there, he's fine with having 5 total attacks. That's not my game plan anymore. No. Yeah. Okay. So, I need a lot of cards. Teammates doesn't quite get them all. I need Rescue Stretcher, Energy, and that, so I kind of have to be Junipering either way, so it doesn't matter that I use the Versus Seeker. Just have to do this. Got the Great Catcher, got the Benelby, we got it all. We're just too... Oh, nope, we did not quite get it. Oh, yeah, we did, because we can get the Poltegeist back. The Pokemon... Throw that there. Throw that there. Clean up our deck a little bit more. Toss that. Don't need that. More than likely going to be it. And you do want a little bit more reach because that Nagandel. You have 1 Pokemon here. Let's go ahead and throw away an Ultra Ball. No, I could have actually. No, I couldn't have. I don't think. Yeah. Go ahead and bring that up. Well, there's that other Poltegeist that we wanted a moment ago. Whew, we are cutting this game a little close, though. We can get... We're going to need just... We need too much. Like, it looks like they should be the ones to win this game. Our small hope is that if we end up being forced into a position where we can knock out the Ultra Necrozma, they don't have a follow-up energy, but that does not look to be the case. There's very likely they'll have it now. As long as we don't get our Dedenne gusted up too early, we still are ahead in the trade. Yep. That makes sense to float stone their big beefy boy. Let's see. Okay. So they are at an odd number of prizes they have to take now. And all we have to show for it is another bunny. Spin the deck some more. That's not really going to do us. Oh, neither of these are going to do us any good at this point. Yeah, they probably got this one. Silent Lab does make it really hard to, and Garbodor, really hard to reuse our Shamans like we would have wanted to this late in the game to refill. We are down to just a total of 2 energies that exist. Our opponent does run a very high energy count, though, for this deck. At least an interesting energy count because of Aura Energy and now seeing more commonly played Counter Energy and Rainbow Energy. That's a lot. Well, whatever they're looking for, they've probably found it by this point. Let's see here. Well, we got the Versus Seeker, which is pretty awesome at this point. So, it's probably Teammates, which would give us a knockout on the active. Though we can use Juniper refill and have a better likelihood of doing more. We only have 10 cards or 9 cards left. Yeah, that's why I thought that's actually exactly why we needed to do that. So we're hitting for 80, 160, 200, 260, or my numbers are way up. 160, 240. Oh yeah, we're hitting for maximum. Go get our great catcher back. So we actually won this game. Get over here. Woo! Big points. So sometimes that's just how the game goes. Normally Mad Party's a little flashier than that, but we did eventually get there. All they needed to do was play an energy attach and put their Naganadel and Guzzlord into the active, and they would have won the game off its GX attack. But yeah, just how the game can go at times. That little 40 HP hitting that 740 total damage. Okay, let's see about at least one more game. We'll see how that goes. But Ultra Necrozma is a large portion of the metagame when it comes to especially being a single prize deck. It is a very inexpensive deck to build. If you're wanting to start out, if you don't want as many game actions as what I'm taking right now, Ultra Necrozma is actually a fantastic deck for you. It's a very good mid-range style deck that just simple energy attachment attack for 170 all the time. And this hand is fine. Not excited though. They are going first, so I am slightly more excited. Though Dedenne is a lot harder to get out of the active due to my choice to not run Floatstone. But our opponent is playing a Crobat, and they're passing Can I play Guzma? No. That is awkward. Interesting. This is certainly going to be an interesting game then. I don't even know what my opponent's playing with the fire attach and the Crobat. There's a lot of different decks that this could be. Not the best Shaman, but I would rather get more value out of each of these other cards like that. Exactly like that. Go ahead and get our Benelby from this. Play it, Scoop'em Net, and Shaman again. Get up here, Shaman. So if we started anything but our Dedenne GX, we would absolutely be knocking out this Crobat this turn. We'll go ahead and do this for Battle Compressor. Nope. Not quite. We'll leave the Versus Seeker in, get the value out of having an Ultra Ball on hand. I do really need to find an energy here. So what we're going to do have a Battle Compressor in the yard. I think we're just going for a net play here. Because if we can, opponent's just going to concede. They probably have a really bad hand in addition to what they had already. We'll go ahead and do one more game, since that one was less eventful. Get a few rewards real quick. Nice. All about getting some chests. And let's get our third and final game for the video. We lost the flip, so let's go first. We're going to guess Pikachu and Zekrom is their deck based off the coin. I'm okay with the Oranguru start. Better than just a Dedenne. Our rest of our hand is actually pretty solid. Their deck is already lining up to be exactly what we thought it was. Let's go ahead and start digging. Looks like we have nearly all of our Mad Party Pokemon in the deck right now, so that's cool. Let's see what we can get off of this. I do like some Battle Compressor. Let's go ahead and wrap those up. Get those in there. We're gonna Ultra Ball away those. Shaman setup. Can't get it. It's Billy's setup. We are now looking to set up our bench a little bit more. This Benelby. throw an energy attachment on it. And I'm cool with stopping from there. We don't have to turbo too much. They do have to gust up the Benelby, which requires them to use Guzma as their supporter for turn, which I don't expect them to. Zero Aura is not the worst one to start with, because his ability giving you no retreat as long as there's an energy attached to it. They're really good at getting energy onto their Pokemon in this deck, running the Max Elixirs, Bolton as we're seeing here, Tapu Koko V, and yeah, that's just really easy. So they can even energy attack. Floatstone works too, but they could have easily. I'm not familiar with Wishful Baton. Interesting. I guess that's a good way to have the deck in a position where, because having Bolton as one of your attackers, you definitely want to, and even Pikarom, you want to have your maximum energy in play at all times. So I could see that being not bad include. I have not seen it in the deck before. Looks like we have our Speed Lightning Energy. But our prize trade is going to be really good against them in this situation. Like the Wishful Baton might make this a little bit more interesting, just because of the fact that one benefit that we have in our deck is that we don't expect our energy to stick around very long. So when we can take out several energy off of a single Pokemon the opponent has by knocking it out, it's just a ton of value for us. I'm hoping that when they put the Bolton up, they put all the energy on a single Pokemon. Even if they end up going like a Tapu Koko to put some energy on too, I just want to get as much value out of my next attack as possible. And 2 Crushing Hammer Tails is what we see here so far. Tord has mentioned multiple times that card has no text. So far in this game, it has had no text. I love seeing the Tapu Koko here. That is just so great for us. Hopefully they set up the Pikarom, because I would love to set up a knockout on it. Just double check this. Okay, so has to be that one. Oh, just keep handing me the freeness. The value here for us is a Raichu is another 3 prize Pokemon. So our new game plan went from knocking out Bolton and Pikarom to knocking out Raichu, and Pikarom. Our next one is probably whomever they put energy on the following turn. If it's both, it's definitely Pikarom that we're knocking out. It is 100% Pikarom we're knocking out now. So where we're at right now is 120 damage. So we need another 120 damage. We will go ahead and start this out by playing the... Don't want to play the Guzma. I think we're actually going to play the Great Catcher. Guess it doesn't matter a whole lot either way, but this way we can dig a little deeper and still have our supporter available. We're not digging a whole lot deeper with that at the moment. I need something that discards. What supporters do we have? Just Guzma at the moment. Nice. We can do that though. Woo! Woo hoo hoo. This is the safe play. Don't like any of this. Okay, Dowsing machine helps. So dowsing machine is going to let us scoop up net again. So let us see 3 cards. Or, how many Pokemon do I have here? 60, 80, 160, 80. Not quite enough. We're just very shy right now on that. So let's go ahead. Try a little deeper. So we're not quite hitting for knockout, which is very unfortunate. A lot of our turn probably wasted here. The unfortunate part is the safe play that I went for here with the energies. I could have Guzma up Marshadow and knocked out Raichu this turn if I did not do that. So we'll go ahead and bring this boy up, bring this up. We should still be favored, even with that one little mishap. Like, the energy on here should have absolutely been on Marshadow. As long as Marshadow doesn't get knocked out, he'll give us an easy knockout on their Pikarom, which will very likely take out a lot of damage for us. Yeah. Their list is very interesting. It looks like this actually might be a standard list now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, this is... Oh, no. I thought as soon as I was thinking it was. It wasn't. Like, this looks very standard-esque. I guess Fighting Fury Belt would have given it away. Come on. All the energy on the Pikarom. Let's do it. Realistically, because of the item in play, it's probably best to put on the Boltund. But that'll work too. That actually incentivizes me to knock out the Raichu first. Oh. No, we're doing it this way. So this here. Don't really need another one of those. We can pitch this. I think we're just so far ahead in the prize trade right now that I can get away with putting another 2-prizer into play. Go ahead and clean up the Sinistea. And did get knocked out last turn. Little mad party. Sweet. So they do have to in us here. or we should be in good spot to win, because we can Guzma up either their support Pokemon. Yeah, that solidifies the win right there. That absolutely solidifies the win right there. I think I don't even have to Guzma now. Yep, they saw the writing on the wall. So there we go. That's 3 wins with Mad Party. It's a fantastic deck. A lot of fun. It is not the easiest deck to pilot because of how many actions you do have per turn, but it does reward you for playing the deck a lot. I mean, as we saw, I did have a lot of mistakes throughout the game, but we did persevere because of just the sheer power of a single prize Pokemon knocking out Pokemon that are worth 2 and 3 prizes. But yeah, everyone, thank you for watching. Just make sure if you want to support the channel, throw a like or subscribe down there. Comment. Let's talk about some questions, anything that you want to chat about in the deck. Possibly any other ideas of a deck you might want to see on the next video. As you see here, I have Snorlax, ADP, Blastoise. Some of these are standard decks on here, so please don't be confused by that. Ho Ninja, which we've already done a video on. Any of these other decks as standard decks too. You haven't. There's a deck out of these that you really want to see. Go ahead and throw that in the chat, and I'll try to do a video with it. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful night or day or whenever you are watching.